The Adventures of Julia and Doug. Do-do-do.
Yep.
Every time. Hello. I'm Julia.
And I'm Doug.
And these are our adventures. We are a married couple who decided to make a change from suburban life to living on the road.
Full time.
That's right. Full time.
Yep.
And these are our adventures. We have a vlog on YouTube. So if you're watching us, that's probably where you're at. But we also are making these available as podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So
listen along.
Yeah, and we're on Instagram and Facebook and all the things. Yep. And so hopefully you'll enjoy our adventures. Yeah, so we decided to live on the road full time for 6 months.
Right.
That's where we started. We went from our 2,000 plus square foot house to
an itty bitty living space.
Itty bitty living space. That's right. We moved into a 36-foot Class A RV and went around and saw the country for 6 months.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
That's why we decided to go full time.
Yes. We've actually been back at our house for a while, and we are planning on selling the house, buy our house, and
at this time, still on the market.
at the time of the recording, still on the market. So come buy our house. Come buy our house. Don't sell our house. I mean, you can sell our house. I don't know.
After they buy it.
Yes, sell our house and then just give us the money.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were on the road for 6 months. We're hoping to get on the road full time. We're entrepreneurs, so we figured we could work and live from anywhere. Mm-hmm. And
just need an internet signal.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we decided to do this 6 month journey because.
Just to get out of the house, get out of the rut of life. Yeah,
we were tired of the same thing.
Yeah.
And I remember one day you said to me, like, well, if you're going to work out of the house and you can work from anywhere, then why not, take your house with you.
Take your house with you.
Yeah. And you can
travel with your house.
Travel with your house. Make your house travel for you. Yeah. So, our season 1 of the podcast, blog, etc., we changed it around a bit. It was originally going to be how we did it and why we did it, and we recorded some of those episodes. But we decided it would be way more fun to actually go into some of our adventures and life on the road.
Yeah, just get some of those stories out there and see how much fun it is actually out there, and all of our trips and falls and excitement and.
Oh my gosh. I like how you said trips and falls, because I was like, oh yeah, we did go on some trips. And then I'm like, oh no, he means trips. Because we did. We made so many mistakes.
Yeah, but we learned, and we're here to teach you and explain to you what we've done. And
yeah, well, that's going to be season 2 now.
True. Season 2.
Season 2 now
is all about the fun stuff, the experiences, our memories.
Yes.
That's what these are all about.
Our adventures of Julia and Doug. Do. So yeah, we really wanted to... We wanted to teach people who might be in the same situation to learn to live on the road. And then we decided, you know what? It's a lot more fun if we just talk about all the fun we had.
Yeah.
So we thought for our very first episode for season 1 now, that we would talk about our trial run.
Our very first trip.
Our very first trip.
The shakedown, as they call it.
Shakedown. The shakedown. With Julia and Doug.
Yeah, it's our first trip. Our very first trip in our very first RV.
Yeah, so before we decided to move out and live in an RV for 6 months on the road, we had never even ridden in an RV before.
Nope, not a once.
We
didn't even drive one until we bought it.
Yes, we didn't even drive one until we bought it. So, the person we bought it from was 3 hours away,
almost 4. Yeah, 3.
3 hours away. 3.5. And so the first time you ever drove an RV was around the block. He let us drive it around the block.
Yep, that's it.
And then we bought it, and then you drove it home.
That's pretty much it.
And I had him on the phone the whole time, and I was like, following behind, going,
how close am I over
you're
there?
getting a little close on the right. You're getting a little close on the right. Like just watching the whole. It was so stressful. I don't know. Were you stressed out that first
A little
drive?
bit in town, but once we got out on the highway, it was easy.
Yeah. Well, because all of a sudden you're like way taller, and you got to worry about things above you, things next to you, and you're wider.
It's a lot wider than your normal car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's 8 feet wide.
Yeah. It was so stressful. Like, keep going. Don't turn so sharply. You're doing great.
It turns a lot wider. You learn real fast.
Yeah, and you did great.
Didn't hit anything.
Didn't hit anything.
No.
And so we brought it home. We cleaned it.
Yep.
We put it in storage.
Yep.
And then we brought it back for our trial run. So really it was 3 hours, mostly on the freeway. A quick trip from our house to the storage place, which was about 2 miles, and then back. And that's all we'd ever driven.
That's pretty much it.
We'd never lived in it. We hadn't done anything. And so we decided we were going to go to our favorite, happiest place on earth, Disneyland, because
I found a RV park within walking distance of the front gate. It's right down the street. So we decided our first trip would be there.
Yeah, because we go there all the time anyway, and we love it. And what better way to inaugurate, to commemorate,
we get to live across the street basically from Disneyland for a
bottle
week.
of champagne on the bow of the ship. And so that's where we decided to go. So we thought we'd talk today about that first adventure. Obviously, the first drive was also a little hairy just because it was new and we were both getting the feel
now we're
for
going to take it on an 8-hour trip each way.
Yeah.
But again, mostly freeway driving.
Mostly freeway driving, but also
just to get our feet wet.
Yeah, and you know, it's tiring to be driving that long.
It is.
Yeah, and so, you know, even though it is on the freeway and it's like, you know, easier, it's not necessarily easy.
Yeah, because of the wind, and you have to pay attention more. That's all. In a car, you can kind of just hit cruise and go.
Yeah.
With an RV being so big, you gotta pay attention a lot more. And there's just, when you say tiring, it's more mentally tiring.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and then which turns into physical tired. You're mentally tired by the end of the drive.
Yeah. So we bring the RV home. Let's just tell the story.
So we bring the RV over.
Yeah, back from the storage area.
Okay.
And you have to bring it over like
24 to 48 hours ahead.
Yeah, I think we brought it over a couple days ahead of time. We wanted to clean it from top to bottom, make sure that everything was stocked, and we had clothes and bedding and all that kind of stuff. And the most important reason
is the fridge.
So
we brought it over, and I ran an extension cord out there just to turn on the fridge because it's basically just kind of a cabinet that's room temperature. So it takes about at least 24 hours for it to come down to proper temperature. So,
and of course, having a house on wheels, you want to bring your own food, right? You don't want to eat out all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we wanted to save some money and just bring our house with us. We brought our kitchen, and there's the fridge. Yeah. So we plugged it in and powered it up.
Yep, everything was looking good. We started inspecting everything as we were cleaning and doing all this stuff. And all of a sudden, we look, and our tire pressure seems to be a little low.
Back tires is a little low.
Yeah.
So
Doug calls.
I called, and there's a repair shop that, they'll fill it, no problem.
Yeah, just fill it with air.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So, morning of the trip, we're ready to go. We're so excited. We've got our ears on. I do. He doesn't. He doesn't wear ears. But I was like jumping for joy.
All set, ready to go.
Because I'm so excited.
First stop will be the repair shop. We'll get that tire filled, and we'll hit the freeway.
Yes, so excited. And so we head over, and there was like all these speed bumps, and every time we went over the speed bump, we just hear this like everything's bouncing, and
I learned very quickly to slow down. You have to really slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Because it's so long, it'll twist, and just things are flying, cabinets open, and so.
Yeah, and make sure that stuff is actually secured.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we get there, and you go outside and actually talk to the guy.
Yeah, so I went out there, and he checked all the tire pressures all the way around.
And they were all a little low, right?
Slightly, yeah. He brought a couple of them up, and
yeah.
So he got to one of the last ones, and as he put the air in, I hear him from around on the other side say, "Oh no!" I was like, "What do you mean no? Oh no?"
That's not good.
So he said it's the little pin inside the valve stem. It's called the core.
If you've ever filled up a bicycle tire, it's got a little needle thing inside.
Well, that popped out. That broke. So he ran inside and grabbed another one and took out the broken one and put in a new one and filled it up, and it held. Everything was fine. So.
Yeah, but he said it was like, well, this might hold.
Yeah, he said you should get it checked out.
Yeah, you should buy a new one, but it was Sunday, so we're like calling everywhere, and nobody's open, and we don't have any, and this place might have some, and they didn't. He said
it should be fine. It should last for our trip. It was like, okay, well, I trust him.
Yeah. So that's Stop one turned into
a little bit longer than we expected.
It was supposed to be just like 5 minutes of filling air, right. And it turned into this big old fiasco. Okay, fine. But it's fixed. It's holding air. Fine.
And then it was on the way out when I hit another speed bump that was at an angle, and I kind of twisted the back. And all of a sudden, as I was leaving, the medicine cabinet in the back just flew open. Stuff came tumbling out.
Stuff is flying everywhere. So the medicine cabinet has like a little wire that attaches from
so it doesn't open
the door, because it's one of those vanities that has light bulbs going down the side. So if it opens like this, it's gonna break the light bulbs.
Snap. Right.
Like your light bulb.
Right.
So it'll snap it.
That ripped off.
Yeah, so that it went through. It didn't break any light bulbs, thank goodness, but like hairspray and Q-tips and toothpaste is just flying about.
As I drove, she was.
So I run to the back, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And I'm checking for glass and broken light bulbs, and I close the cabinet. It had one of those little latches, and I guess we just didn't close it hard enough. It's got to like fall into.
And again, I learned slow down.
Slow down.
Really slow over speed bumps. I wasn't going that fast.
No.
But you got to be really careful with those things.
Yeah, there's a lot of this going on.
So after the shop, after that.
So so it's been like 20 minutes now for a 5-minute trip, and 2 things have gone wrong.
So now we're leaving the shop, getting on the main road, and heading towards the on-ramp onto the freeway.
Yeah. So it's been like 20, 30 minutes.
We should have been on the road already.
We've gone half a mile at this point.
I'm heading down towards the on-ramp, and the light's red, so I hit the brakes.
He starts slowing down.
And I noticed on my side mirror, all of a sudden I see the door behind us open.
Well, we hear it.
I hear
it's like
slam.
Whap. And in a big old RV, it's like a man door. It's like a door.
Big door. It's a regular sized door.
And now it's open.
It flew open.
And it's going.
And I saw it flapping in the wind in my mirror as I was getting on the on ramp.
Oh my gosh!
So she jumps up.
I jump up and I slam the door, and I'm cursing and yelling, and he's really upset, and I'm laughing because I'm like, could anything else go wrong? This is our first time ever taking an RV trip.
So next on the list of learning is to lock the door.
Lock the door, yes. Yeah, but like, it's just
flung
open. I just imagine like all of our stuff just tumbling out like on the road behind us, and it was just... It was just a nightmare. And so...
lock the door, and now we're finally on the freeway.
Yeah. So we're like 30 minutes in, 30 minutes in. We've gone maybe a mile. And so we needed gas. Let's stop for gas. So we go to a gas station, and... It
had 2 bays, and one had really wide lanes and taller top. And I was like, oh, great, this is going to be perfect.
Another thing you got to look and think about when you're in an RV is like being able to fit in places that are short.
So I go around, pull in, say, oh, this is perfect, fit great. Get out, and there's no place for I think I slide my credit card, and it's like denied. And I was like, what? So I walk inside, and she's like, oh yeah, no, you can't use that. Those are for trucks.
It was like a members only. It wasn't even a members only gas station. It was a regular gas station, but it was like a members only.
So she said I have to use the other bay, which is smaller, tighter, and I was like,
shorter, and
So I pulled out and went in there, and I fit.
No, didn't we go to a different gas station?
I pulled in there, and I did fit, but so then started filling it up, and that's when I found out was the first time we filled it up was. The credit cards stop at a certain amount.
Okay, that's right.
So I think I put in like $100 or $150, and then it stopped.
It just stopped. That's
okay.
not enough gas.
So I had to take it out, start all over, and put the credit card in again, and then because I guess they have a limit when you're at gas stations, so that took 2 swipes with the credit card.
He was so mad, you guys. I don't even know if I've ever shown you the video, but like I took video while you were pumping gas, like explaining all of this, because at that point I had thought that we were going to be doing this regularly, and there was the commercials with Verizon and AT&T and all the coverage. It's a lie, first of all. Second of all, it's a super lie. So there's like not coverage everywhere.
So it's already been about an hour.
But yeah,
we should have been way down the road, and we're still close to home. Just getting gas.
Yeah, so I filmed a little video because I thought we were, I was gonna be able to post it, so I'll have to add it to. Yeah. We'll add it into the video here, which will be great. Yeah. We'll have you watch it.
There you go.
We should do a video of you reacting to the video. I was like, he's really mad. Seriously though, the door flinging open and the cabinet in the back flinging open and stuff flying everywhere. It was not, it was so scary. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, lock your door when you start moving. Lock your door. That's the key. Oh, he's coming. Gotta go.
So we finally get out of there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We get on the freeway and.
Yeah, I think we ended up going something like 4, 5, 6 miles per hour of that first hour, because that's how far we'd gotten in all of these blunders that were going on, just like over and over and over and over again.
So we're now finally on the freeway and headed towards Disneyland.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yay. So we
finally get down there.
Well, so driving's the first thing that you have to learn how to do, and the second thing is to learn how to live in it.
Right.
And so we get down there and we check in and they put us in this. Okay, if you've ever been to Anaheim, California, Disneyland was built there when it was a bunch of orange groves. So it was just a bunch of fields and farms and trees, and they built Disneyland. And then everybody realized how amazing it was going to be and developed all around it. Right. So unlike Disney World, where Disney owns tons and tons of land and it's all on its own, Anaheim is on top of each other. It's a major, big city. And so when we say RV park, it's just a parking lot.
Yeah, it's basically just a parking lot.
Yeah, with big spots. And so
the spots aren't that big.
Right. Yeah, the spots aren't that big. And I wanted to preface what you were going to say with this, because you have to visualize it. And I think we have pictures somewhere. But so they put us in this spot.
Yeah, so the guys, each one on either side were almost in our spot.
Yeah, so imagine this is the spot, and then you be the guy on the left. And he's like
RV almost hanging over into our side.
Yeah, it's like he's at an angle because he didn't have cords that were long enough to reach the things. So he went all the way over practically our line. I think he might have been over our line at one point. And then on the other side, the guy is it's a truck.
He had a trailer, and then he parked his truck, but he parked his truck closer to our side than to his trailer.
Right.
So when we backed in, we couldn't put the slides out.
And
that's how close he was.
Right, and let's be honest, we learned how to drive an RV, and now we're learning how to back an RV up. This is not the best place to be learning that, where there's
first time
so many things all over the place.
This much room to get back. So we got in there though.
You could have hit anything.
We didn't hit anything.
No, he's really good. We have
backed it up just fine.
Yeah, we have a backup camera and
there's a microphone on the camera, so as she talks behind me, I can hear it through the camera system in the RV, which is nice.
Yeah, but I can't hear you, which is it's not nice, especially when you're first learning.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. I was like, are you hearing me? I don't know what to do. So he gets the RV in, and then it's time to set up the connections.
The water, the electricity, and then the sewage.
Yes, and we've never done it before. Right. And the guy had warned us that he had done the water funky when the guy we bought it from.
Yeah.
Had warned us that he
didn't really give me that much guidance.
No, because he didn't remember.
Yeah.
So the person we bought it from had the RV for a few years, but had only used it a couple times in that time frame. And so he said, oh yeah, the first time I hooked the water, I screwed it up and water was splurting out everywhere.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I did or how to fix it.
Right.
So of course we didn't, like read the manual. Like, oh, we got this. So Doug's hooking up the water, and
So hook up the water.
I'm filming it because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great tutorial video. This is
So
gonna be
we're on one
fabulous.
side, and you'll flip this thing and hook it up,
And it's
get
going.
the water going.
Water's going.
Water's in there. Okay, cool.
So I go in and he goes, make sure it's working. So I go flip on the
Nothing.
the sink, and it's like drip,
Nothing.
drip.
And then all of a sudden, on the other side of the RV is a small waterfall.
Yeah, on the outside.
Like,
So
what's going on?
Water hose, RV, water spouting. We made a very important discovery. Apparently the valve that Doug put the water in was to fill the tank. So now the tank overflow spout is spouting out all the water. Spout, spout, spout. Because it got too full. Too full.
Yeah. So we did what he did.
Right, but we
And
didn't
so I
know.
couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being I put the hose into the tank fill, not into the spigot for pressurizing the RV.
Yeah, just general
So
use.
learning again.
Yeah, well, but then he finally gets it on the, again, still, he'd calmed down after the 7 hours of driving, or actually it would have been like 8 or 9 at that point, but he'd calmed down a bit, but then all this started happening again, and he's getting so mad. And so he figures it out, all is good, he goes, go back inside, it should be fine, and I flip on the kitchen sink again, and he goes, shh, drip, 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 and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not good, it's not working, we don't have any water. And we figured out
It was
that
just a valve was in the wrong position.
yeah, it was like a
So I was filling the tank versus just putting the water directly into the system. There's no.
well, that was the first time, but then after you had put it in the right spot, we had there was a bypass.
Yeah. So the water was coming in, but then stopped at a valve.
Yeah.
It just didn't turn the valve on. There's no written picture or anything of what valve is supposed to be in what position.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2003, and so figured it out. Finally figured it out, and everything's fine after that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So far we have broken valve stem, broken cabinet door, stuff spilling out everywhere,
Door flying open.
barely can back in, and water spouting out everywhere. Then we decide it's time to open our slides. So I opened the bedroom slide in the back while he is doing the water.
Right.
Right. So he's working on one side. I open the slide on the other side. We realize later that with our RV, they want you to put the jacks down first to stabilize it.
So you don't do the slide in the RV tip.
Well, right. And that's what I
Or
was...
the slide come out.
Right.
funky.
And that's... Or the RV twist.
Right.
Like, twist. So I had put the bedroom slide out and not the living room slide. The jacks weren't down yet.
Uneven, yeah. So I had to bring that back in, then put the jacks down, and then we could do the slides.
Right.
But then the one slide, you went outside to film it, and we came like this close to hitting
the angled guy.
the RV on the other side. We came this close to hitting that. And then the guy's truck was so close that we couldn't put the slide up. We had to go to the office and have them contact him to move his truck.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah.
And when we put the jacks down, there's a little level bubble. It's like it's like a circle, and then or like a bubble, and then it's got a circle,
a little level
and then like a level
indicator, yeah.
level bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Level bubble. And so we put the jacks down, and
I'm watching
he's
the bubble,
watching the bubble, and he
get it all set, and
gets it in, and then we look back
turn
and it's
around,
like,
and the thing's all jacked up, and I was like,
that's not level.
that's not level at all. So we bring the jacks back up because you have to reset it, and then we put them back down, and then so after that is when we learn to bring our own level. We have a little 1 footer level.
Yeah, like from Home Depot or
yeah,
whatever.
and so we put that in the center of the RV, and then we use that now, but we just kind of eyed it. And so once we figured out it was kind of level, the little indicator on the panel was way off. So we don't even look at it anymore.
We don't look at that. We don't look at that. So anyway,
Yay.
that's our first adventure. And we were at Disneyland for about a week.
Yeah.
And then we decided to come home, and then we decided to continue on with our plan of going out on the road for 6 months.
Yeah.
I honestly, after all of that, I don't know how we decided that this was a good idea.
Yeah,
We
it's
obviously
memories.
did not know what we were
We're
doing.
laughing about it now, having a great time, and there's great memories.
I know, but like
I know.
looking back at it,
Yeah.
sometimes you
I'm
have to
glad we did
realize,
it.
oh, I'm glad we did it too, but sometimes you gotta like, you gotta realize it's not gonna work out. Cut your losses, fail fast, and pivot, right? Like, fail fast, realize you failed, this isn't gonna work, and then do something else.
Yeah.
But
And in our case, we just fail, learn, and keep going.
yes, that too. So, anywho, hope you enjoyed.
That story. We've got plenty more.
We have tons of stories. Most of them involve us failing in some way or another.
And if you're listening, remember the valve stem. Just as a
wow.
Yeah, as a little teaser for the next episode.
Wow.
Keep you in suspense.
He went there, guys. He went there. All right. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, all the places.
All the places.
Wherever you are listening
The
to.
AdventuresOfJuliaandDoug.com.
AdventuresOfJuliaandDoug.com.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's TheAdventuresOfJuliaandDoug.com.
TheAdventuresOfJuliaandDoug.com. Yep.
Yes, TheAdventuresOfJuliaandDoug.com. And yeah, follow, like, share, subscribe, do all the things that people do. And we'll see you for episode 2. The Adventures of Julia and Doug. Do-do-do.
Thank you. Oh, smile.
The Adventures. Oh, you coughed right
Sorry, I've got my
right at the start. But I'm bunching. I feel like we're not even Stevens. Now we're even Stevens.
Okay.
Okay.
And begin.
I like your smile.
Thanks.
Huh, yeah. Clicking already.
Well.
Clicking and clacking.
Okay. And begin. Yay.
Yay!
The real season 1, episode 1. Click.
Click.